Let's think about work 100 years from now in our utopian future. Everything will have been sorted out so that we don't have to work any longer. There are robots that do absolutely everything from building houses to planting seeds for vegetables and taking care of the harvest and delivery too. But that really isn't going to happen. And even if it did, the idea that human input could no longer be needed because we've sorted out all of the machines would only last until something needed fixing. What if by that time nobody knew how to fix the machines because we'd grown up feeding ourselves and sitting around watching television and not noticing that the average weight has gained to over 35 stone? People in the future will not escape the humdrum of work. It wouldn't be good for the human race to have so much leisure time. At least that's what we'll be told. Although it will be practically impossible to work without being a specialist. Only those willing to punt their manual skills will get anywhere. And with so many unemployed and desperate, the council estates will be overflowing with window cleaners fighting each other for business. And even then, they'll need a knocking on people's doors permit or face a fine, and there won't be any getting away with it. Because whoever you are, you won't be able to do the simplest thing, such as make a cup of tea without some data tracking device logging it. The notion of us all taking food pills instead of eating real food isn't going to happen. Not because the technology won't be available, but because the consumption of food is too big an industry to let go. So those without masses of qualifications will find themselves making sandwiches or cutting up slices of pie. Of course, both of these things could be done by machine, but the risk of the population becoming despondent and bored wouldn't be a good thing. Whereas, standing on your feet for 10 hours at a time, putting a piece of cheese in between two slices of bread is obviously enough to keep anyone's mind occupied. No food will go out of any factory without a poison scan to make sure it's safe for consumption. But you'll still need a health and safety certificate, regardless of how redundant this is. Your local baker will still be open, although they won't be able to make sandwiches. The law won't let them. All food will have to be prepared in a sterile factory and then shipped off to where it's needed. Construction work will still be about too, although it'll be less labour and more watching dials while the machine does the work. The builder's job will not be to build, but to oversee, which is almost the same as doing nothing. The machines doing the job won't ever go wrong, but for health and safety reasons, a human must be there at all times. A keen and alert mind will be required to do the job according to the application. But because a human supervising the machine will be trusted, closed eyes and a blanket will actually be what is used. That way you can spend all night on a games console and get paid for your shut-eye at work.